What's going on, guys? Raven here, back with an Art of the Swing Through podcast part 2. We're going to go in depth on swing throughs and basically what I do. And I'll tell you this right now. There are certain ways that I get swing throughs. There is several ways that I do it throughout the time of me studying my router, my PlayStation, everything. I have several ways that I can cause a swing through, and I don't cause the swing through, I just use it to my advantage. So first we'll go through is the hitbox. Jason has a very fucked up, funny hitbox. Jason's hitbox is one of the most odd hitboxes in the game. You know, the car kind of sticks out farther than it should, but with Jason, it's different. And like with the car sticks out a little farther than the corners of the car. With Jason, it's actually more inside of the Jason than his arms and things. So his arms do not have a hitbox. His machete has a hitbox, or his weapon has a hitbox. The weapons themselves have their own hitbox, you know? The mask does not have a hitbox, you know? His head has a hitbox all the way down to his shoulder, and it's almost like a square box, almost. It's around his head, it's sort of wonky, but basically he's got a square hitbox, but it's not wide enough to cover the entire Jason. So if let's say you swing and you barely nick the Jason, sometimes it'll swing through him, and you'll see it, and you'll visually see it, and the Jason will see it, but you didn't actually hit that hitbox. So that is one way I get swing throughs. I turn a certain way, which I will not disclose in this video, because I'm gonna fucking use it, you know? I did it against DK to Pac. You can go look. Literally, I watch the video when I get the swing through on the Nessa. I turn and I watch Pac swing, and I turn a little bit. If you can figure out where he hit, congratulations. Here's a cookie. You figured out where the hitbox is fucked up. That was a definition of a broken hitbox. A broken hitbox works mostly with weapons like a wrench or a fire poker or something small, like a machete almost. But when you get a swing through with a bigger weapon, let's say a bat or an axe, there's another thing that I do to get swing throughs, and that's how these are the main ones that get people pissed off. This is how I got the RLB Tommy kill, and it is not me messing with my internet whatsoever. It's me studying my router and figuring something out. I will not disclose the number, but how I get swing throughs, and this is another way I get swing throughs. I have my router timed. My router is fried. It does little spikes that aren't visible because they're so quick and they're so sudden that it shows white and yellow ping, but it spikes to 999 quickly within a second. It's there and it's gone, but you don't see it. And I study it, and I'm like, how does it keep happening? And I kept studying my router, and I finally figured this out. And it happens a certain amount of seconds. So lately, I've been able to time my shift grabs. Like, let's say I shift grab. I know that it's so-and-so seconds from now. So I shift grab somebody, and I'll say 5 seconds. 5 seconds until the spike. 4, 3, 2, he swings. Right when it hits 1 and I spike, the weapon goes through me. And if you noticed, most swing throughs I get, when it's multiple weapons, they're both at the same time. Both weapons will swing through me at the same time. That's because that's timed. That's because that's a router spike. That's something I can't control, but I do use to my advantage. So when people say, hey, he lag switches, hey, no. I use my router to my advantage, you know, and there are little lag spikes in routers, you know. I live out in the middle of nowhere, things happen, but I've figured it out so much to where I know exactly when it's going to happen. If you go, so I choose basically who I want to swing through and who I don't, and I'm very, people are like, damn, you do it way too much. I do it when I need it. I don't do it when I don't need it, you know. For instance, the Tommy on the bridge, when I got 2 swing throughs against ROLB and Lizzle's tournament, I had my router timed on that shift. I knew I needed to grab Tommy in so-and-so seconds. I knew that they were going to try to save him on the bridge, and I knew exactly when my router was going to spike. The second it spiked, they both swung through me, and I got the kill on the Tommy. I prevented the kill. That isn't me lag switching. That is me knowing how fucked my router is. And, you know, that is something that I use, and it's shitty, and I know it's shitty. But at the end of the day, swing-throughs in this game happen, and I can't prevent them. And even if I didn't want to get a swing-through, there have been times when I didn't intentionally get a swing-through, and I just so happened to grab somebody in a shift and right then get a swing-through because of how fucked my router is. Like, I know the seconds, but sometimes I don't time them. But when I really need it, I will time it. And I have them timed in the game, you know? Like, when I start a timer on my router before my league, or not my router, my fucking phone, right when a lag spike happens. I know the certain amount of time it takes for another lag spike to happen. So I watch my phone, and as the timer goes up, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I see the exact second go by when my lag spike happens again. It's a rhythm. All it is, it's basically like a heartbeat, you know? So, me knowing that, I'm like, all right, it's going to happen in 3, 2, 1, swing through. And if I can time it perfectly to where they hit me right when that happens, it's a swing through. And I've gotten so good at it throughout the years of finally figuring out. Because if you remember, I never used to get swing throughs, or never used to get a ton of swing throughs. And that is because I've gotten better and better at timing it. You know, I've gotten great at doing it. So frames also take into account, you know, who's on the internet takes into account of the seconds, you know. It's a very hard thing to time, but I do it every game, and I do it against big games, you know? Like, I didn't do it against DK this last time I played him, and look, I got one swing through, and that was one that I caused on my own with Jason's hitbox. So that is 2 ways that I get swing throughs. You can also use a lag switch, but I don't own one. I don't have that phone anymore. I think, honestly, that phone I used to have fucked up my router so much that now it just spikes randomly out of nowhere. And I don't own it anymore. It's not even in my house. I don't have it anymore. It was my Galaxy J3, and that phone completely disappeared, you know? But at the end of the day, a swing through is going to happen in this game all the time because, for one, this game's hitbox is fucked, you know, and we know this, and there's nothing we can do about this. But also, you have EU Jasons, you have other Jasons, you know. If you have a little spike in your router, it can happen. So, I mean, you know? And there are other weapons that, like with the hitbox one, and you can tell on me if it's a hitbox one or if it is an actual swing through. Because, like the actual router swing through, it's going to happen against big weapons like an axe or a bat or well, maybe not a pipe, not really a pipe. A pipe is more considered a small weapon. I don't know why the game does that, but it swings through a lot with the hitbox. You know, a lot of weapons like that. Things like the pipe, the machete, the wrench, the fire poker. Those are all hitbox types of swing throughs. Those are ones that I can just turn my Jason a certain way and you go right through it. But when it comes to the big weapons that go through me, that is my router. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't get a new router. I can't hardwire it because I don't own a thing, and it's all the way across the house, and people get pissed off. I'm 16 years old. There's not much I can do. But I have learned throughout the years how to take advantage of it, and I'm going to stop doing that lately. But at the same time, I thought I'd come out with what I do. And it's nothing I really do, all I know, and it's cheap, and you can call me out for it all you want, you can hate me, but at the same time, when I'm playing Jason and I'm timing my router at the same time, that takes more skill than it does to just hit a combo. So, people want to get on me for it, but at the same time, for me to be as accurate I am with shit, I eat all the pocket knives. I eat all the team's pocket knives, and get 6 swing throughs by timing my router, you know, like, it's crazy. And when I say time, I don't mean I have a fucking timer that makes it lag. No, I mean, like, I've studied it so much, I know how many seconds pass before another lag spike. How much time passes between lag spikes. That's how accurate I am with my router, to the point where I can get, if I want to wipe you on swing throughs, I will wipe you on swing throughs. That is basically what I'm saying. So every team that's like, oh, Raven's an asshole, Raven just wants swing throughs to happen. No, I can make them happen, but I don't. There are games when I would wipe every game. I'm telling you this right now. I would wipe every game if I wanted to, but I'm not an ass. So people want to hate me for my swing throughs, and there are certain games when, yes, swing throughs are ridiculous, but most of the time, I'm lenient with the swing throughs. I'll get 1 a game, 2 a game, and that's it, you know? But at the end of the day, yeah, I do pick my swing throughs, and I'm not doing anything to hurt my router either. You know, Lonnie said he's going to ban me from everything if he finds out I'm doing anything to my router, so I thought, you know, I might as well come out and tell you guys, because I'm done having people tell me I'm lag switching. I'm done with people telling me that I'm cheating. I'm done with people telling me all this shit. I'm telling you straight up right now what's happening is I have a fucking timer that I watch before every one of my big games, and it's really only the big games I have a timer on, that I know exactly how many seconds go by before a lag spike happens. And the only reason why I'm not telling you guys this in the video right now, because if I ever want to use it again, guess what? You guys will know. You guys can figure it out, you know? After the first swing through, you can actually, and I don't go from swing through to swing through, you know? Like, I'll have lag spike between lag spike, because I don't want the team to catch on to, holy shit, it's happening every so-and-so seconds, you know? And eventually, you guys could figure it out. Like, if I slip up on a quick shifting Jason and I have 2 swing throughs in a row very quick, you'll know exactly how much seconds it is between my swing throughs. You can tell everybody else, and then you can prepare for it. And eventually, the league will figure it out, and you guys will figure out how to beat it. But until then, I'm God mode. And I hate to say it, and I hate to be that shitty guy who's like, wow, you can't touch me. But, like, MC Hammer wasn't wrong. At the end of the day, it's my router. And you guys are right about that. But I have it timed, and that's why I get so many swing throughs. Because everybody's router has little lag spikes. I just have studied mine so long after I started first getting swing throughs and wondering why it was happening to me so much, that I have it timed now. So if I want you to swing through me, I'll wait for so long before I shift, and I'll get a fucking swing through. You know? And you guys don't know the time, and I'm not going to disclose the time, because that is for you guys to figure it out. If you want to beat me, you can figure that out on your own. But even against good teams, I'm not going to cheat and use it unless I'm in a situation where I have to, like against ROLB on that bridge. I needed Tommy to die. He didn't have a PK, and I used it. I timed it, and it worked. And like I said, and you have to give me credit for this, for me to time it perfectly and know exactly when they're going to swing and go and hit me and time the grab perfectly, it's hard, guys. Like, I fuck it up sometimes. I really do. Like, there are times when I'm like, oh, swing through right here, and then I fuck it up by like a millisecond, you know? There are times when and that's what makes it so impressive, because the fact of, I have to literally, it's such a quick lag spike that it doesn't pop up on the game's ping meter itself. That's how quick it is. So you have to be literally just about to hit me right when it lag spikes, and then you, like, the lag spike will end right when you're like inside of the Jason with the bat, so, or the weapon, you know. So there's such a little gap there and no room for error that sometimes it's not even worth doing, so I don't even do it. But there are times when I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna need to do it here, you know. Everybody's basically gangbanging me, and they've got a Tommy right there. Let's have the whole team swing through me. And that's what I do. And sometimes I miss it, sometimes I don't. It happens. Sometimes it's a hitbox, sometimes it's my router. You know, sometimes they're in combat stance, and I just walk around them. So that's the art of the swing through, you know. And Chichi tonight, when he got that swing through, they swung right when that router, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. They had a fire poker. Okay, tonight it was a, tonight with Chichi, it was the hitbox. In Battle for the Hawk, he turned his Jason the way I turned my Jason to get a swing through. He didn't know he did it. He didn't intentionally do it, but it happened. And that's how he got the swing through. So if you go back and watch the Pac game, that's exactly what I do to Pac. And then I say, oh, that's one. Like, I knew it was going to happen, which I did, you know? I even turned and looked at Pac depending on which way his body was angled, so I could angle with him. So, at the end of the night, you know, that's how I do it. And I didn't put it in the Art of the Swing Through podcast on how I do it. I just said ways to do it. So, this is part 2, and this is how Raven personally does it. Anybody can do it. Anybody in EUJ and American J with good internet, everybody's got little lag spikes. Some are just way longer in between than others. I have a very quick router that likes to lag spike very quickly. So I get more opportunities, where somebody like Lizzle with really good internet will only get so many chances. You know? That's why it happens to me more than it happens to other Js. But I have it timed so it happens even more because I know when it's going to happen. You know, I know when my router's going to spike. That's what people don't understand in this community is people are like, damn, it's just his router. That's unlucky. He's got shit internet. I have pretty bad internet. But at the end of the night, if you swing through me, 2 things happened. Either I caused it or I timed it. At the end of the night, it was me, you know? It was either I grabbed him right at the right time to where you swung and missed me. Or, I'm sorry, not missed me, swung through me. Or I turned and the hitbox was fucked in that spot I turned and it got away, you know? And it was a swing through. Both of them happened. And, yeah. So there's nothing you can really do about it until you guys time my router, which... have fun doing that. And I'm telling you right now, the way to beat my swing throughs is to time my router. But until then, if leagues want to continue to make a rule on swing throughs, I'll just be more smart about them. Instead of just kind of getting one here and there, what I'll do is I'll only use them when I need them, you know, at the car, or, you know, when I'm pulling the driver out, or I'll do it when Tommy gets, you know, when Tommy's PK's gone and they are trying to get my mask. I'll do it then, and I'm going to do it every game unless they lift their rule, you know? Where before I wasn't doing it every game, but if they want to make a rule against it, I'll take my 2 swing throughs and I'm going to do it on Tommy and Sweater Girl, you know? And it's shitty to say that, but I'm going to continue to time my router until something changes, you know? Until they don't make a rule on a swing through that happens to basically any J, you know? Until then, I'm going to continue to do what I do, and stay number 1, guys. I'm Raven, and this is the Art of the Swing Through podcast, part 2. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.